What up, y'all? Welcome to Next Mood Swings, this weekly review. I'm so excited because you already know the queen is back tonight. Nicki Minaj is dropping a track with Maluma for a FIFA World Cup, and we're going to talk about that. The Grammys, you already know what I got. You already know how I'm feeling about that, but it's just point proven, and they're putting all their money on Beyonce, but we're going to talk about it when we come back. Stay tuned. What up, y'all? Welcome back. Happy Thursday. If you guys are joining us again, hey, make sure you guys leave a comment down below. Let me know you here. If you're in the chat room, say what up. Hey, and if it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and you guys can join us every Thursday in the live chat. Yeah, welcome. Hit that subscribe and that like. We got Courtney Stewart in the building. Looking beautiful in red.
What up, everybody? Hey. How y'all doing?
Hey, what's happening? All right. So I figured, you know what I mean? We get heavy here sometimes, you know what I mean? Next mood swing, you never know what we're going to talk about. So I figured, what if I started something where we just bank through some topics that's like, look, I want to touch on them because I think it's important to make note of them, but we're not going to go that deep. We're not going to go 2 hours, like I said, until we find another time for this. We ain't doing all that. So let's just get into it. As you heard at the top of the show, tonight, Nicki Minaj, Maluma, and God bless me, there was another girl. There's some girl, she's like a Shakira kind of girl. They're releasing a... There she is. She does belly dancing. They said that the three are they got American, Hispanic, and Arabian because she's from somewhere over there. But whatever. Normally the theme song for the World Cup comes out the week before. It's super high energy. I know Shakira had Waka Waka love that. But this year the World Cup has been kind of silent. It's going to be in Qatar, which is, over there by Dubai and all that. And the drama is that, over there right now, Iran, they're just killing people. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be talking about free speech. Be thankful that we in this country right now, because these other countries, we don't want to become them. Okay? We want to stay just the way we are. Well, we want to get better. We don't want to go backwards. We don't want to go to wherever that is, because Iran is a mess right now. And people are really upset because Qatar is infamously known for not being supportive of same-sex marriages or identity. Just don't be gay over there. You know what I mean? It could lead to prison sentences, could sometimes lead to death sentences. So some people are upset with Nicki Minaj for being a part of this. I think... calm the fuck down. I think that there's many people you could be upset with over this. Actually, there was a gay blogger, and this is so dumb to me, but he basically made a call out to David Beckham saying to cancel his $10 million contract with Qatar, FIFA Cup, whatever. And if he doesn't cancel that contract, this guy is going to on Sunday, he's going to take $10,000 and grind it live. Like, put it through a grinder. He wants him to, David Beckham, to, instead of taking that $10 million, donate it to do this for the LGBT community, and this will save... leave this man alone, y'all. Like, yes,
$10,000 and I will do other things with it.
Well, but my thing is this, is like, so let's just say you think David Beckham's ignorant for playing soccer, which he's played his entire life. It just so happens to be here. None of these people have any control over that. Okay? No one's saying that anything about this is right. I don't see anyone supporting it. I think the silence this week is telling. You know, they're going to go play the game. The song is gonna come out, and no shade, Nicki sounds bomb on the song, and I can't wait. But I just think, to go after David Beckham and then to threaten you're gonna grind up $10,000. Why don't you take that $10,000 and donate it to a charity, an LGBT charity? Because that's weird.
Trying to work for civil rights for LGBTQIA people.
It just doesn't make sense. But so we'll see. I'm just excited for the song to drop. The music video drops tomorrow, so we'll see what that's giving. Again, obviously, we know Nicki's gonna deliver. But yes. Also, again, that situation's going on over in Iran, and this is just something that we need to be paying attention to, because like I said, with elections and things happening, we need to be careful about who we're putting into office, where we're headed down the line. Because baby, I've been on that TikTok conspiracy, and I'm just like, who working with who, doing what? Like, it got me nervous. And what else should get you nervous is, and this is why I keep saying, he's back, y'all. Donald Trump done shook the table, which I'm just like, this was not surprising to me. Were you surprised that Donald Trump?
It's not surprising to anybody. He made it very clear that he was going to run again.
No, but a lot of people are really shocked. They're really surprised. And here's my thing.
People that aren't paying attention, because he literally has been campaigning for people that would be in his base for the entire midterms. So even if you thought after the last election and the insurrection and all that, no, he's been clearly on the path, on the trail for the last almost year with candidates for Congress.
Right, but you have to think a lot of
showing.
Yes, but I mean, you're somebody who pays attention to certain things and wants to be in the know. And this is what I always say, you guys. If you believe in something, always look at the other side. Always watch the other side. I think this whole freedom of speech thing and canceling people and taking them off of social platforms, I feel like the fact that they took him off social platforms, you're shocked because you guys spend so much time on Twitter and he ain't there. So you're not even seeing what he's talking about, what he's doing. So now it's a shock that you see the clip go viral. And it's just I would rather know what the enemy is doing or what, you know what I'm saying? I want to know. I want to be in the know. I want to know what he's been talking about. He did his speech where he talks about, he gave all the bullet points about, we got to get back to the family, and the teachers can't teach kids about gender and all this stuff. And it's okay, all right. Did DeSantis send you his notes? What's going on? But yeah, he's back. Also, another thing we need to be watching is, I'm sorry, Joe Biden, but please, we do not give any more money to Ukraine. He's asking for another $37 billion, and I'm just can we just fix America? Can we just make America amazing and not have these $7, $8 gas prices and just get our economy back?
How about we say all them times that they're oh my God, cancel student debt. How are we going to pay for it? Oh my God, universal health care? How could we possibly pay for it? But suddenly, we've already sent Ukraine, the first
40,
time was 40 billion?
Yep.
And now we're talking about another 30 billion. So you're telling me $70 billion won't give universal health care?
Okay, thank you. And not only that, but then, where is it? Hold on. Oh, don't tell me I X'd out of it. All right. I don't know what this is going on in Ukraine at this NYT event thing that's happening, this FTX situation with this Sam Bankman Fried guy. And have you heard about this? The NFT guy? So there's this it's a conspiracy theory, because I don't know any more deeper than it. Y'all can do the research and just get in them comments and let me know what the real tea is. But basically, there's a rumor that the $40 billion that went to Ukraine somehow got to this crypto person because he's friends with President Zelensky. And that crypto then funded the Democrat Party. I'm just and then during midterms, now he's asking for another $37 billion. This is all conspiracy theory, but I think that where something barks, let's go take a look. You know what I'm saying? I know that you don't do that in horror movies, but baby, this is a.
Have you met American?
You said what?
Have you met American I said boo nonsense. Have you met American fucking defense contractors and weapons contractors? If they even gave the amount of weapons that money was supposed to buy, they definitely took that freaking money. So please, no. Weapons manufacturers were like, oh, government contract, love it, $30 billion richer, amen.
Money
Send them like
in
2
the
bombs
bank.
and we're done.
Shorty, what you think?
Money
All right,
in the
so here we go with this one. This is, y'all, you know we in the day and age of sex, right? You get on Twitter, you won't see Donald Trump. You don't see Donald Trump, but you gonna see dick and titties. You're gonna see.
Want to.
Well, unfortunately, look, here's the thing. You know, I have certain people who have been like, you know, I've really been thinking about OnlyFans, and I'm just like, look, I know the money. I see the money. I mean, I dated someone who was a part of that world, and he made money. But the things that come attached to that are dark, you know what I mean? And you know, you gotta really be on your A game if you're gonna be in that world, because it is so easy to get caught up and get sloppy. And I think we well, I'm just gonna let the TikTok video play for you guys, and you can take a look at that.
Hi, Los Angeles Police Department. We have a warrant for your arrest. For what? Lewd acts and indecent exposure in public. You have the right to remain silent. If you give up the right to remain silent, anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to speak within a...
Boom, y'all. And this is the thing.
Got arrested? What?
She got arrested. So basically what happened was her and her man, they was in the back of an Uber. And they was nasty. They was in the back of an Uber and they said, hey, let's shoot some content. And they was doing the thing, you know, they was being scandalous. And I see this a lot. This is really popular. Like outdoor public displays. Like I be seeing guys on a train, like in New York, there's like, I saw this one thing. It was like 6-7 guys. They get on a train super late at night, and then they just start jerking off, and then they start fucking each other. And it's, and I always think like, what if,
gross.
like, imagine walking into that. Like, first of all, I've walked into living in New York. I've walked into some crazy things, even sexual things, like homeless people doing stuff, just people on drugs doing stuff. But like to walk in on something like that. And do you know what I'm saying? If you into that, do you? But like, be safe about it. Stay away from cameras. Stay away from people. This is called indecency exposure, like public exposure, y'all. Like, so this isn't the only person this has happened to. This has happened to a lot of people recently across the world. There was one person, I want to say it was in China. It was a Chinese influencer. And he had to like pay a huge fine. He went to jail. It was like a situation. And look at this, the police just knocking up on her door. So I'm just like, y'all with these videos, like,
it's gone too far, guys. It's gone too far. Like I get it. It's like porn in the palm of our hands, and everybody can be a porn star. So we're all excited about it. Like, but like, let's aspire to other things that we used to back in the day. Like, let's aspire to be like, you know, I don't know, mayor, a lawyer, a doctor, you know,
politician, you know, anything other than that.
Be porn stars. Like, it just we don't need it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I also think it's just like everyone doesn't need to be it.
Everybody, yeah.
But I did realize, here's the thing, I did realize why, a big part of why I think it's so popular, like, because Courtney always says, maybe it's not an agenda, maybe it's just a mirror reflecting how we really are as a society. And I was thinking about it, I'm like, okay, but like, you know, because this one porn star got caught. Well, he didn't get caught because he's out doing it. But that pastor Dwayne something, he got caught with that. He got Dwayne Dawkins, something like that. He got caught with this porn star on camera, and I'm just like, why would you go film that, knowing that he was filming that? Why would you do that as a pastor? Beyond me. But I just think that it's like, we have to really realize like there is a spirit when it comes to sex, you guys, and like when you are in that world, it can be dark. Like, I just know there have been days where during my depression, it's like I just will spend all day in bed just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. You know what I mean? You realize like this isn't healthy. Or when I was dating my ex, it was like seeing him and certain friends, and I'd be like, oh, y'all really gassing that you happy and you not. You are all depressed, just here with limp dicks and y'all not even 30.
Oh, no.
And y'all not even 30.
Oh, no.
So,
no.
Oh, girl, doing this thing, putting needles in the tip of their dick to keep it hard for days. Like, what?
Wait, what is that?
No,
There's an injectable.
Yes.
Like
literally, like,
I
don't,
why can't I?
Viagra? Yeah, it's like, it's well, it's
Is that what it is?
I've never taken Viagra, but apparently like Viagra works for some people, it doesn't work for some people, and I've heard that like it won't really keep you up that long. Now also, again, the people that are telling me this are like hardcore in that world. So like, again, I remember going to a party, and I remember a bunch of people. There was one guy, and he pulled out this thing, and it was needles. It was a needle. It was like different needle heads and like liquid things. And he just would call certain guys into the bathroom, and he changed the needle head, and he would inject them in their shaft, and then their shits would be like crazy. So like, you have to think like, if you're so young, starting this at such a young age, like I just can't imagine shooting your dick up is a healthy thing. But beyond me, y'all, stay in the world, do it, don't. But the big reason of here's what I was saying. I feel like it's so popular. So that cat guy, or the porn star guy, he started a YouTube channel, and I was like, oh, I'm interested to see like where porn stars move in the world, because I think the thing is, there are a lot of depressed people who are watching this, and they'll sit on there and they'll spend their whole day, and they feel like they're close to this person because they see them naked. And there's this weird thing that because I see you naked, and almost like a Real Housewives, like we watch the Real Housewives because we feel like they're a hot mess and it makes me and my life feel better. It's almost like these people, because you read certain comments under certain porn videos, and you'd be like, honestly, there needs to be a show called The Comment Section under porn videos. I do have a whole stand-up about it, but that's fascinating. But you really realize like these people are watching them through these rose-colored glasses, although it ain't rose, baby, it's jade. That's what it is. I don't know. It's scary where we're moving, and I hope you guys be careful and wake the fuck up, because people out here lying too. They talking about, oh yeah, I get tested all the time. For what? Not what I heard. All right. Also, the story, the Christmas story.
Like the movie?
The movie Christmas Story.
Of course.
They're coming out with a new one. The whole cast is coming back.
Of course. And
yep.
I'm very excited. Ralphie does not look like Ralphie.
First of all, I thought it was a new cast, and then when they said it, I was like, oh, okay. All right.
Like, that's so Ralphie? He looks very different. Obviously, he was a child, and now he's like a 50-year-old man, but I was like, whoa.
Right, I was not expecting him to look like that, but really cool. So apparently the original house is, someone had bought it, and it was like a museum. You can go, and it's set up just like it was in the movie and whatever. So the cast of this movie have been waiting for a really long time for the house to go on sale. It did, and the cast all pitched in, and they are purchasing the house, and they said that, hey, why would it not make sense for us to run the show, whatever that means. So that'll be cool. Imagine going there and you get to like be a part of the experience with the cast. I think that's cool.
I didn't know that detail, but good for them.
Yep, shout out to them. In our weekly Kanye update, again, you know I be on the conspiracy theories, and he dropped.
He went to Montana and disappeared.
I mean, that's what I thought he was gonna do, because I thought he said he was going on a month of no speaking, and I'm like, sir, it's not been a month. Has not been a month. Has not been 30 days. Jesus ain't come out the desert till forward. Because sometimes I just be feeling like Kanye be doing stuff to just like tie, like how Kim Kardashian wants to tie herself to old Hollywood. Kanye wants to tie himself to biblical errors. That's like that's the marketing behind Kardashians and Kanye.
Biblical eras, because I would have been like, he specifically wants to tie himself to Jesus. But you know, yes, biblical times. Sure.
Yeah, because I feel like right now he's doing the whole Jews are the Judas. Stabbing me in the back, my friends, you know. But anyways, he came out. TMZ ran up to him at a car. He looks different, and I think it's so interesting. And again, I do watch way too much TikTok, because why did I see a conspiracy theory? And like someone really sat. I think I sent this to you, right? Someone really sat for over a minute and really put clips together to try and prove that Miley Cyrus is actually Ayesha Curry. It's actually hilarious, because I never realized how they do have similar like characteristics in the way they move their hands and stuff, but like it was the biggest reach of my life. And then it was even funnier because I saw another TikTok and they were talking about how some other girl, they think Ayesha Curry and this girl are the same person. They've never been in the same room. And I'm like, how did I just see a fucking TikTok about Miley and Ayesha Curry? Like, first of all, never am I paying attention to her life. Miley Cyrus, like, Party in the USA, like 2000 what? Like, but whatever. So Kanye came out to basically say that a lot of sacrificing is going on in Hollywood, and that his mother was sacrificed. He named some other people in the industry who lost family members. And he said, isn't it a coincidence? All these people have random, very close people missing in their life. Seems like there's a lot of sacrificing in LA. He brought up Jay-Z, Beyonce. And there's been rumors, you know what I mean? I mean, there's even been rumors about Jennifer Hudson and her nephew, you know what I'm saying? These are all conspiracy theories. So he came out to say this, and it's got, you know, conspiracy Twitter going crazy and his people going crazy. Again, I still think there's something there. I think it's the whole Harvey guy drugging him, and that's been like a continuous thing now looking back at it. I mean, you said what?
You said drugging Kanye?
Yeah, so his trainer, Harvey, and then if you actually look into who this guy is, it's like, why would he speak like he has ties to the CIA?
Yeah, Harvey, oh my God, what is his name? Is it Harvey or Harley?
Harley, excuse me, I'm thinking Harvey from what's it? Who? Harley Pasternak?
Is that what it is? I mean, I know that's a Hollywood trainer. I don't know if it's the same person that he's talking about. He's saying Harley, whoever his trainer was.
Harley Pasternak.
Oh my God, come on. I've met Harley Pasternak multiple times.
Okay, but why is he sending text messages like that? Like, I'll drug you, I'll turn you back into a zombie if you don't do. And this isn't the first time he said it. He did this years ago too. I don't know. I think it's weird. And no one's questioned him about it. I think that's even weirder. Sorry, I do. I believe it's weird. I think Kanye's crazy.
I'm confused. Kanye posted messages from
Kanye
Harley.
yeah, so basically when Kanye did the original DEFCON 3 thing, Harley texted him and was like, what are you doing? Like, you need to apologize. If you take it all back, I'll make sure you'll be able to see your kids again. If you don't, I'll turn you back into a zombie. I'll make sure they put whatever medication that you go back on this medication and you never see your kids again. Now, whether he actually sent that or not, but I also think it's kind of crazy that he wouldn't respond back and say, like, that's crazy. Clearly, Kanye's crazy. And then the last time Kanye got hospitalized, Harley was the one that made the 911 call, and he would not talk to TMZ, and he basically ran away from them. I just think it's weird. It's giving me Britney Spears. It's giving me the Britney family thing. I feel like there's something deeper there. I do not think Britney Spears is out of her conservatorship. I do believe that Britney Spears is still locked in the same house. Everyone was like, oh, she moved. It looks like the same house to me. I mean, who just is like, yeah, I need this 2002 flooring, marble flooring.
I can't. I'm like, I can't even with this love.
No, but Courtney, then wait, listen to the Britney one. Listen to the Britney conspiracy, you guys. So the Britney conspiracy, if you go and look at some of her recent videos of her dancing and you look in the background of her dancing, there's a baby, what's it called? Not a stroller. Oh my God, what is it? A baby, the thing you put in a car seat, like a baby car seat. But like that you can carry inside and then you put it in the car. And
okay, yeah.
So it's just chilling in her house in the past few videos, and people have been pointing it out. Like, why is there this baby seat in this house? And
Britney
like,
has had a baby forever, and she was supposedly pregnant. She's also mildly not healthy of the mind, so maybe she bought a seat and was excited because she thought she was having a baby and then wasn't pregnant anymore.
Could be. Or have you seen that show on Apple Plus where the woman thought her baby was dead and then she kept thinking that she had a real baby, so they gave her a fake baby and she lived her... There's like a real thing... No, this is a real thing that women go through. That some women... Let me not make it sound like it's a normal thing. This is not normal.
Yes, mentally disturbed women may have moments of this, but in terms of Britney Spears, regardless, like it's very, there are a billion plausible explanations for her to have a baby seat in her house. Like there's many that are not sinister, scary, creepy, dark, or insane. Like,
and that's so true, because everything in her life doesn't look sinister and creepily insane right now.
Like, for all we know, she has dolls that she carries around in baby car seats because she's wanted more babies since she was put in the conservatorship. Like, she's always said she wanted to eat Cheetos and walk around and have her babies. Like, so maybe that's...
And honestly, well, so part of me also was like, imagine if she had the baby and we just don't know. Right? That you said what? No, I don't. No, I don't believe she had a baby. But I'm also like, now that you say that, I could also see Britney being that. You know what I mean? Because you have to think about, like, she just be like talking to herself online and probably in the house and like.
I feel like she'd have cats.
No, but instead of cats, maybe I could so see her having like American Girl dolls like everywhere.
Oh hell yeah!
And like naming them.
Or I could see her having like bunnies.
Interesting.
That she treats like babies. Because she's from like Louisiana, like farm life. Like I feel like she would have bunnies.
Another random thing I saw was Tpain, an interview with Tpain. I thought was really. You said what?
I said what? Tpain?
Yeah, it was actually really cool. You know how he just kind of disappeared off the planet?
I like Tpain because, like, I saw an interview with him, whatever. He seems like a very normal person that, like, just had a specific skill that, like, skyrocketed his career into craziness. And, like, but in the end, he's just, like, a regular dude that's actually just chill.
But who can actually sing? Like, his voice is...
And he can actually sing, yes. Like, really he's talented.
Good. But the interview was interesting because they were asking him, like, why did you fall off? Did you get into it with the record labels? And he said, no, honestly, he was like, I had my kids and I went home. He was like, I remember touring and I went home and my kids called me other dad. And I was like, what? And they were referring to, he was like, I've been on tour. Like, you guys didn't want to hug me. They're like, we see you all the time. So they were so used to watching him on TV that they didn't know how to build a connection with him. And that really bothered him. And when I tell you, I just like, that is so fucking dope to me. Like, to hear a celebrity or somebody who has been in the industry, talented, written for people, worked with the best of the best, to say, I chose to walk away from it because there are bigger things in life than chasing a check.
Yes.
And when your child calls you other daddy, like, oh, there's a problem here. Like, and he said, I knew I'd always be able to get back into it. I may not be at the height that, you know, I was. He was like, but I don't need that. And honestly, then it got me thinking. I'm like, look, think about like DaBaby. Everyone's like, oh, he fell off. Okay, yes, he did. He's not DaBaby. Everyone's not sweating his balls or whatever. DaBaby, honestly, probably is living his best life. In the sense, well, here's why I say that. That's what I would want. I would want to get a couple hits. He still can go to show. He still can sell a little tours.
No, that's the point with DaBaby. He's not selling out shows. That's why it's like, it's not. It's like, yo, you were amazing. You can't sell out a 1,300 person arena in freaking Kansas or wherever that last show was that they had to cancel.
Right.
Like,
and he was doing like buy one, get one, whatever. But
yeah.
Again, I don't think it's that crazy. I still think DaBaby can still sell himself and he'll have another little moment. It will never be as big as it was. But I almost kind of feel like, I think the thing is right now, labels are signing everybody and anybody. So get in there. If you get that label, get that check and run. Keep running with it and be independent. Focus on that. Do not get caught up in the machine, because look what happens when you don't. You will not get the Grammy. And let's get into it. Grammy nominations officially dropped, and Beyonce and Adele are sweeping. And I have to say, I think the Grammys obviously did not like Nicki Minaj coming for them. And as Nicki got no nominations for Grammys. Again, the Grammys just outing themselves. I mean, Notorious B.I.G. doesn't have a Grammy. Bob Marley doesn't have a Grammy. I mean, there's like Tupac don't have a Grammy.
Like,
who?
It's Diana Ross.
Right. I mean, there's so many legendary people at this point. And, you know, we always say, like, award shows don't matter. I mean,
I don't say that.
You said you don't say that?
No, I don't say that.
I mean, I genuinely don't think they matter. I don't think that an award is recognition of being a good artist. I think there was a time where the Grammys, for me personally, were like the award. And then I feel like MTV became the show that we all loved. Yes. It was like, I'll watch the Grammys, but like I was really excited for the VMAs. Like the VMAs always hit it right. And I think the Grammys... Now, I will say this. I do think Beyonce's first performance is going to be the Grammys. That is my prediction. It is what I'm thinking. I think she showed up at the Grammys last year. She did her song from the Serena movie, or the Will Smith movie, whatever. And I think she got a sweeping amount of nominations, which is, again, interesting to me because, I mean, the Grammys isn't about numbers. You know, that's what Billboard Charts Award is for. And that's, you know, Nicki just won a lot of EMAs over at the European Music Awards. So shout out to MTV again for doing it correctly. But the Grammys kind of snubbed a lot of people because, I'm sorry, but low-key Song of the Year, I mean, realistically, I heard that Dua Lipa song and Elton John everywhere. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't even like Dua Lipa like that. And I really don't like Elton John like that. But when I heard that song, I was like, oh, is this Cher? Did Cher come up with a nice little bop? Like, it was a little bit of a bop. And it could be played everywhere. Everyone that I know was into it. And that didn't get nominated. That's crazy to me. The fact that Summer Walker, a new artist, was able to repackage her album and sell that shit for 2 years and wasn't nominated, but y'all nominating Glorilla.
That's two different categories.
Yeah. I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's just.
I think echoing what you said, though, just in general. I mean, I'm old, but I'm not that old. I feel like the Grammys. I'm not somebody, like I said, I'm not somebody that says like awards don't mean anything, because I generally pay more attention to like the actor and film side of things. So for me, it's like Oscars and Golden Globes and that kind of thing. And I've always honored, as much as people are like, well, do your own thing. They don't respond to you. Like, do your own thing. I respect the fact that we still live in a culture that if these awards are deemed the elite awards of an industry, then they do matter because they open different doors.
Right.
So as if I'm in that position, I understand why Nicki would be like, how the fuck I don't have a Grammy? Or, you know, whoever is like, how do I not have an Oscar? I'm not even nominated. Like, that is a snub in a whole nother kind of way, because it's sort of like being at the gate and them closing the gate to you for whatever those reasons are. And it's not cool. But that being said, I feel like it's specifically in music, and me coming up, I agree with you. Like, to me, MTV and VMAs were the real gauge of what was happening in music and what people cared about in music. So the Grammys had already long ago fallen off as a gauge of any greatness.
Because I think the first one was, remember when Moby won something and he beat, I can't remember.
It was something amazing, and we were like, wait, who is Moby?
Yeah, it was like, wait, what? Who? I feel like that was the first time that I I started like looking at like, wait, what? That doesn't even make sense to me.
Yes.
I mean, because my thing is like Cardi B, right? The fact that Cardi has a Grammy, Meg Thee Stallion has a Grammy. I mean, I promise you guys, I feel like they're gonna give it to Lotto. But it's like, can you now look at the Grammys as like a legit thing? As like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, you aren't rewarding the people. Like, to me, when we were used to watch the Grammys, it was like Prince, you know, Sheryl Crow. Like, I don't know who the fuck it was. It was just older. I feel like it was always the people. It was always tributing the people my parents listened to, right? So now I feel like the Grammys, the people who should be in, Nicki should be. This should be the time for Nicki. We should be Nicki, Beyonce, Rihanna. Like, that's the elite of music right now.
It's like they graduated out of MTV. They should be winning Grammys.
Right. Like, no offense, Glorilla. But, like, that's an MTV, BET hip-hop kind of person. And then as she grows and we see what kind of artist she actually is, and can she drop an album? Can she drop a sophomore album? Can she last past a sophomore album? You know, to be given these awards, like, are we just gonna start? Is Cardi B gonna be put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame next year or something? Like, I'm just like, that's where I'm concerned. Like, where are we gonna like? Can we just get back to the actual art and the talent? You know, again, Beyonce, very deserving. You dropped a whole album with nothing. And I promise you, I just have a feeling that the Grammys has something in works with Beyonce. Because when I think about it, Beyonce ain't doing, I don't feel like Beyonce's giving us anything the rest of this year. We know the tour's coming next year, so I feel like at the start of the year, we're going to get a taste of something. Grammys are usually around February. Rihanna's going to be doing the Super Bowl.
The Grammys are before the Super Bowl.
Right.
The week before.
So that's a way for Beyonce to make a lot of noise, and this would be her comeback to the Grammys. She's gonna do a sweeping, win a lot of these awards, I'm sure. That's my thing. I feel like she's gonna perform at the Grammys, and I hope after today, though, Nicki, I hope you can just let it go. I hope you really have gotten to that point, and because honestly, again, like, girl, you're doing the World Cup, like, that's gonna get numbers, that's gonna do very well on the charts, it's gonna be a worldwide song, that's like Shakira numbers, like, that's great. We want you in that lane. Keep running with that.
I agree.
Forget the rest.
Want her to be the rap Diana Ross and just be like the queen of rap that she has already career-wise shown herself to be, and not be fighting with the little girls on Twitters and like reminding people don't remind nobody nothing. You are who you are. Sit on your throne and let the, what is it called? What are her people? The Barbs, like,
the Barbs, go
after people. But like, she needs to not partake in any of it. Like, be above it. The same way Beyonce don't respond to a damn thing.
Mm-hmm. Nicki Minaj, Beyonce says in Break My Soul, love thy haters.
And I'm just like, Nicki is Beyonce for rap.
Yep.
And it's like, part of the reason that she gets so much flack is because she doesn't seem to behave that way.
No, but I also think the difference is, I think, obviously Beyonce has her family. She had two sisters, she had multiple sisters.
Family now. She got the baby, the teddy bear baby, the big cute baby.
She has the baby. She has the baby. I'm telling you, I don't,
she got her husband.
I know she loves her husband, and I get that, but I there was a time, 2017, I loved 2017 at a time. And then
I'm no Nicki Minaj fan. Like, I can name like 2 songs. Like, I'm not a Nicki Minaj fan. But I know what she's done. I respect what she's done. And I just feel like she needs to be who she is. Live in your light, girl. Stop playing.
Just make music. Just make music. Now,
or don't. If you never want to make music again, don't.
That's true.
Because on your shit. Like, you are undeniably the most effective. And again, I'm not a Nicki fan. And I can respectfully say I know what she's done for the rap game, for women, for rap, period. And she deserves her slot. She's already earned it. Sit on it. I was depressed. We talked about her interview where she was talking about she's not a brand, like she hasn't done. Basically, she got to keep rapping to keep money coming in. Because
she's working on. I guess she is. Maybe she took that interview to heart, because she is planning on dropping. She's doing something with press on nails. She's coming up with her own line that's going to be affordable, really cool decorations. So we'll see what she does.
That's what I want from her. I'm like, girl, you should have businesses. I don't know how Nicki don't have a wig line, some costume.
Well, I can tell you why she don't have a wig line, because I worked at a hair company and we were supposed to do a collaboration with her. And look, not get me sued. Allegedly, she didn't want her hairstylist, if you know, you know, involved in the process, and the money wasn't right. What the contract was supposed to be, it was a lot of requests that she was like, and I kept saying, like, she ain't gonna do that for that price point. Like, bro, what do you think? Like, she gonna give you her soul? No, she gonna say, you won't break my soul. So that's why she don't have the wig line right now, but she could work with anybody.
You told me there were other opportunities, and like that could speak to how if she does business the way she's on Twitter fighting with children, maybe that's why those things don't exist. But as a, almost 40-year-old woman, if not 40, I don't know how old she is, with a baby, like, still like scrapping like for her credit and all that, is, I feel sad for her. Like, that's beneath her. Like, I want her to have business. I want her to be Rihanna, like, billionaire businesses, living her good life. If she wants to drop us a verse when she feel like it for the World Cup, fabulous. And then go on off like Mariah Carey, sitting in her house with a fucking crown on, watching her music be played on the crown. Like, or whatever. Like,
actually, that's actually hilarious to picture an image from the show The Crown to a Nicki Minaj song. Shout out to Ronnie in the chat. He said, I too am no Nicki fan. I can only name a few songs. Well, and he said, I still can't believe she did a song with Tekashi. Why? Let me tell you something. Don't do nothing illegal around me. Don't do nothing illegal around me. All right? And I say this to all my friends who do illegal stuff. Just don't do it around. You can tell me about it the day after, but don't do it around me. Because, baby, if they come through my door like they did that girl on OnlyFans, wasn't me.
No.
Shaggy.
No.
All right. 21 Savage said Nas isn't relevant. Again, you guys. Like, first of all,
hold on for a second. Again. Whatever. But
Nas just dropped an album that was like fire.
No, Nas' last 3 albums?
Yeah.
Because he's on King's Ransom 3. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
The last 3. And y'all, I ain't no real rap girl. I'm 90s, early 2000s R&B pop all the way, but I will listen to some rap. Nas' last 3 albums? Stop playing. How dare you?
First of all,
he's 30 years in. Shut up, 21 Savage.
And literally you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Nas and the rest of them back in. This is so crazy that you guys have disrespected LL Cool J and like the OGs, and it just shows your ignorance. And maybe you're drinking too much lean, whatever the case is. I don't know. I just feel like, yes,
like his lean.
Girl, these people be proud to do fentanyl. I don't know if he does that. I'm not saying he does that. I just know that people really be out here like, oh yeah, girl, I do fentanyl. Like, what?
Okay. You want to die. Congrats.
And then another thing, you guys. This blueface guy. I'm so tired of it.
Oh, I'm so mad.
One show. And I'm not even going to get into him. But I'm going to say this. That Zeus network, cancel it. Like, that Zeus network is the worst thing for youth, for the youth, and not only for the youth, for the black community.
Okay. I'm going to...
Have you watched any shows on that before you say
Absolutely
anything?
Not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. I have seen enough clips on social media to know that, number one, I'm not the demographic or the brain capacity. And because I struggle with it because it is black owned. And he's trying. And it's sad because that's what sells and will build the financials that possibly will work for him to also do something else at some point. And it's hard to fault him when we wouldn't support the network. I don't want to say we. The masses wouldn't support the network if he was doing content that, we would deem like positive or appropriate. Like, he's getting built based on the mess because people watch train wrecks and people subscribe to it. So I don't know, like it hurts to say whatever. I don't want a black man who trying to do his own business and trying to make it in a network land where I know the landscape is challenging beyond measure to be like, no, he should not be doing this. Absolutely not. Like, when clearly it's people selecting that for their entertainment, and that's why he keeps feeding it. If we didn't select that, he wouldn't feed that because he would be able to make money off of positive and good stuff.
I'd really want to look at the demographics because I think it's children that are feeding that. Like, when the people, like the age group that really watches a lot of those shows are 16 to 24, 25. With the exception of my best friend, who had me watching Bad Girls Club. But I think I look at it like this, because we worked in this reality world during a time of, like, you know, again, I was a part of Bad Girls, the mess of Bad Girls Club and the mess of Love and Hip Hop. And when I was younger, I didn't see it. Although I will say this, as much as I was a part of it, the point of everything I did for it was to rip it to shreds, because it was crazy. And I think what's even wilder is, like, Love and Hip Hop wasn't the normal thing. Bad Girls Club, they weren't the normal TV. Like, it was like a, you know what I mean? Like, once a week, you're going to go sit down. Like, you don't really want to tell people you watch it because it's a mess, but it's like, you know, a little guilty pleasure. Like, and now it's just normal. Like, Flava Flav was like such a weird show to watch back in the day, because you're like, this is fucking crazy. Now it's just like, I mean, like, I'm really questioning if the shooting with Blueface was PR for his show. And, like, the fact that I have to question that is crazy. And the fact that he had this, and you guys are still going to push with this TV show after Takeoff just died, and we're supposed to be, you know, and it was funny because they posted something about him being free and how he was going to go fuck Krishan, and JT commented under the shade room, and she was like, oh, I know she's so happy. Her puss going to be filled. Something like that. And I was just like, what? What?
The Lord told me to judge not, lest ye be judged. So I'm trying not to judge what is going on.
I just want the babies. I'm thinking about the babies.
I just, you know, I just hope that the whole Krishan and Blueface thing is, like, disturbing as hell to me. I just can only hope that at some point we will all look in the mirror and be like, we're better than this.
Yeah. Again.
And not going to continue to accept and consume this.
Yes.
And that's the only time that it's going to change. Like, I don't blame the owner of Zeus for feeding the food that people want, because he's trying to make a living the same way any of us are. I could be like, please be better, and, like, show us better, and, like, then we'll come to it. And we do live in a time where there's at least a little more balance than there has been in the past. There's lots of trash TV, but there's also a lot of non-trash TV for Black and brown representation.
Yes.
So I feel less disturbed for that reason, but I just don't think that should exist. Whether it's, I don't want to see Honey Boo Boo, like, eating sketty in butter any more than I want to see Krishan and Blueface fighting each other and going to jail and doing all that. Like, I think those are equally horrible things to have to watch and whatever, but we as a culture want it, and it pays. So I can't fault somebody for trying to make money to a degree. But because everybody, just because I think all money ain't good money, don't mean everybody. And if he's feeding his family off of that, the baby's got to eat, and I wouldn't want to take food out of their mouths. But Lord, one day, please, can we elevate?
No, I mean, it's we're not going in an elevated way. We're just everyone's just gonna be porn stars on the Zeus network, getting dating shows. I mean, literally every guy that Bobby Light had on his show is an OnlyFans creator.
How is that even a show? I don't. Fuck y'all.
And, like, Dustin Brown says, shout out to Jesse on the BGC9 reunion. Yep, and see, we done moved on. I done grew up, moved on. Ronnie says Zeus Network has VH1 looking like the Disney Channel. Amen. It surely does. No lies told, because I thought VH1 was bad. Took the cake. All right, last topic is Odell is suing Nike. He is, and I'm happy for him. I love me some Odell Beckham. And while he's looking for a team right now, you know what I mean? Hopefully he's sitting. This is why he did. He sat down with his lawyers. Maybe he's talking to people behind the scene, but he's had some time off, so maybe he was re-looking at his contract, and he was like, well, wait a minute.
Oh, wow.
So he was supposed to sign with Adidas, or he wanted to sign with Adidas a while back, but Nike basically said, whoa. your contract's about to be up, but let's do some renegotiating. And as he looked over that renegotiation, because I guess Nike, I don't really understand what the deal is with their shoes, but they can hold on to you so you can't like go to somebody else for however long before or after a shoe drops, whatever. But apparently he's saying that Nike withheld certain payments for him after he finalized all of everything on his side. He did the cross check. He said, I did everything I was supposed to do, and the numbers ain't adding up. So I'm just loving these corporate companies being exposed, and I'm loving. Now, I really want the NBA to be exposed on a bigger level, but I'm loving that it's because we can watch it on TikTok. I can watch some random guy, like I sent Courtney, some guy talking about this 666 blood in toothbrushes or plastic, and I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, so I look at that. That's comedy to me. I'll scroll past it. But when it's somebody like an Odell who, or, you know, and this is why I do not take Kanye seriously, but why I will not just brush him off, because he has mentioned certain things that I've questioned in the past. I've seen a little speckle of truth within certain things he says. So I do believe that there's something there. What that is, that's why I'm following the story, and I want to see where this is going to go. Which he also did release that ecosystem thing. He is on full go with that, and there's a whole village called the ecosystem, and we'll see what that goes. I don't know. But shout out to Odell Beckham for this. I think go ahead, get your money, because, you know, your Achilles, your ankle, or whatever the fuck broke down at, not your ankle, not Achilles heel. ACL. There we go. And this is your second time doing it. I know after 3.
I'm like, how is he even not retired? I feel like he's constantly injured. Like, I don't even follow football, and I know he's been injured a lot. And I'm just like, how are you still here?
I don't know. But when I tell you, I could just watch that man throw a football. It is like fascinating. Not only is he fine, but just to watch him, his accuracy. I can't.
But he just got a whole wife and a baby, so I have to be like not as excited anymore.
I know. I do feel like it's a beard, but that's fine. You know what I mean? We love that. They said that's a cult.
That makes me less excited, because then it's like, oh, you're on our team.
I mean, who knows? That's just my fun little conspiracy theory. All right, let's get into Housewives, because I already know that's what y'all in the comments are waiting for. Oh, whoa. Before we get into our shows, though, let's talk about Housewives news, because the RHOA Cast was released. Snooze Fest. We already knew there's literally no changes. One girl was added. Snooze. Over it.
For Atlanta. But then Real Housewives of New York has some drama right now with this Lizzie Savetsky girl. Yeah.
So at first it was rumored she was fired from Housewives mid-season, but she's coming out saying she quit because she got a lot of backlash and hate. She, again, with the word anti-Semitism. I'm just like, what? But okay, so I'm interested. No one else has spoken out about this. I also saw a rumor that Andy Cohen said Lisa Rinna is fired. I don't know. I did not.
Oh, I didn't.
I just saw that on one of those Housewives, literally right before we started, and it was a screenshot that said Andy confirmed it, and then someone said, "Is this true?" I do not know if that's true yet.
I don't see them firing her. I just don't.
I hope they don't. I don't think they should.
Diana supposedly figured out who hired all the bots and all that.
Oh, wait, I didn't see
Rinna
that.
Was behind. That came out a few days ago, but I couldn't find who she was saying did it. So I was like, if it's Rinna, then that would then make sense to fire her. But other than that,
I think people are going based off because Andy said that her future is on the table, which does not mean she's fired. So keep it in your pants, guys. Robin Dixon and JuanDixon.
Wow, that's a whole mess.
Yo, so I'm wondering if they trying to come on Candace right now to try and keep all their drama out the mix, because Ronnie says, absolutely, there is no way lisarinna is leaving the show. I would agree with that. But come on, Ronnie, because I know you love you some Robin Dixon, some Potomac Housewives. So what is your thoughts? What are you guys thinking? So apparently Juan was in this scandal where he like basically blackmailed a player on his team because he was
It wasn't him. It was one.
But he was a part
like,
of it.
It was his like assistant coach was doing it, and he
knew
covered it
about
up.
Yeah,
and because he knew about it, so it wasn't him. But it's crazy. Like, but also the story was just insane. Like, whoever this coach or whatever they were, like, was basically catfished a student on like some kind of app, and then got them to send him like sexual videos. But then that coach like shared the videos with the team or something like that, and like, because the kid wouldn't like do more sexual things for him. So he blackmailed him trying to get more sexual stuff, and when the kid refused, he released the videos to the team and embarrassed the kid.
He said,
and apparently Juan knew about it and told. Go ahead.
No, he said, so his name is Copen State assistant coach Lucian Brown Lee has been accused of catfishing a former player by IBN Williams. Says that he was talking to a girl in 2018 when he realized that it was not a girl. But apparently she had asked for she had asked for sexual. Okay, I didn't mean that, but sexual content, and threatened to release them if he didn't oblige. And like you said, Juan knew about it. But
here's my question. Like, I haven't gotten any more. Like, I've looked at this a few times and I haven't seen, because Juan is the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't understand how Juan wasn't like in a position to fire this person. Because some people were like speculating that like Juan ended up telling whoever and they decided to do a cover up. So then Juan was put in a position where like if he said anything further.
So Juan apparently said Dixon came out. So Williams, the kid that this happened to, accuses Dixon of failing to take action when informed. And basically Juan said that he was aware of the issues, but he reportedly admits to Brownlee, the assistant coach, having mental issues. So he kind of
dismissed it. Like, that's weird.
He said the coach should have known better than to put this person in a position of seniority. I mean, that's your comment? Sorry.
The whole story is really weird, and it don't sound good, and it makes Juan look really bad. So they probably are trying to distract from his business getting out to the girls.
1,000,000%. PM16 said, hey, Courtney, hey, Jesse, Juan is now never coming on camera ever again. Not
Ever
that he was
again.
on screen. Yep.
100%. You ain't lying.
What's up with all the Dustin said, what's up with all the fake profiles in the Housewife franchises? This one, then the Salt Lake one. These are adults. I mean, again, I always go back to what Courtney says. We're seeing society. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I have a fake Instagram. What is it? A Finsta. But I don't speak to anyone on it. It's literally just for me to like look at stuff. Honestly, I would never speak
what are
to
you looking at, though? Like, are you following people that like you don't want them to know you're following them?
So no. It's not. It's actually not even that deep because I don't. There's nobody in my life that I care to look at like that. Mm-hmm. I'm very like the older I've gotten. For me, is I am now really trying to. Now that I'm understanding the algorithm, like. I've had my DJ Jesse J Instagram since the beginning. So, you know, I never was like paying attention. I like everybody's shit on there. Like, so my explore page is shit. But then you hear people like, oh, I love my explore page. Then I have Next Mood Swing, which is, you know, here. Yeah. Right. And I only follow basically Courtney on there. But I only like certain things that are like moody, emotional, positive, all that kind of stuff. So that's the only content I see on there. So I did this thing with DJ Jesse where I removed every celebrity. I don't follow celebrities anymore because I love Nicki Minaj. I don't want her to tell me what she's doing today. If I one day a week want to go search what Nicki Minaj is doing, Britney's doing, I go on my Finsta because I don't want next mood swings to be, I don't want it to be attached to that world. So whatever. I think lots of people have them. Now, I think it's crazy. And if you create it to go look at somebody's thing, fine. But when you're creating it to harm somebody, it's weird. When you're an adult and you're doing it knowing you're on like a JenShah thing, you know you're on national television, you know this is going to get exposed at some point. At some fucking point. Makes no sense. Ronnie says, to Dustin's point, I think it's the show's fault. They opened this door when they arc storylines based off rumors and blog comments. Once Bravo did that, they validated fake rumors and such. A million %. Chad Peter says, hello, my beautiful Jesse and Courtney. I've been watching on Apple TV and, of course, can't comment. Wanted to show myself. Oh, I love when y'all watch on TVs. I don't know why that makes me so excited. It just makes me so excited. But yeah, so whatever. Also, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the footage of JenShah screaming in the in
her defense, the person she was screaming at was also screaming insanely as well. I don't know what they were screaming about because it was just a screaming match.
Y'all got to see my notes.
It was a lot.
All right, let's get into Housewives. Let's start with Salt Lake. So we get Lisa and Jen and Whitney. They're going skiing, and I'm like, why are we doing this again? I thought we didn't like skiing in the first time. Was it because the Bunny Hill thing?
Yeah, okay. I like it. They're in Utah. It's beautiful. I liked seeing Jen ski down the hill, and then she fell and like rolled over the hill. Like, it was just funny. It's cute. I like it.
I'm not gonna lie. I have this thing with skiing. I do not like skiing because I went skiing one time, and low key, I always think about Cher and Bono, Sonny and Cher. And Sonny died because he was skiing and he ran into a tree and died.
And so did what's his name's wife? Who was it? Liam Neeson's wife?
Oh,
Natasha Richardson. She did the same thing. So like, I don't ever want to like ski for real because of both of those for sure. They hit a tree. Died. Yes,
and then the one time I went skiing with my cousins and my brother, the worst people I should have never did that with. I just remember going down the hill and I like went off track and went down like this side thing in between the trees, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. And I went off a jump and I like fell, and then all these other people were behind me and they fell on me. It was like, so this has been years since I've did it, but watching this one, I was like, they did make it look really peaceful. Like Jen looked like,
because like theoretically, like, and then watching the snowboarding, I just like, part of me wants to snowboard, but like,
absolutely not. Now see, the skiing, I'll ski because you got two legs, but snowboard where they're attached to one thing,
I don't like the idea that your like feet are locked onto the basically a slide to go down ice and snow. So.
But shout out to Whitney. She was moving
and grooving. Doing it. Shout out to Whitney. She looked really hot this whole episode.
Who did?
Whitney. I thought she looked great this whole episode.
Yeah, I always think Whitney's beautiful.
But I feel like sometimes she looks very like inflated with fillers and like too much makeup and whatever. But like, I feel like this episode she was just super classy, especially when she wore the black suit to choir rehearsal. Like, she just looked hot.
Well, you know why? She's not friends with Heather anymore, so she can't get those weekly fill-ups.
All those free injections.
Because honestly, Heather, I'm starting to notice, is looking real Whoville.
Did Heather get a booty job?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't.
I'm like, I need to look at a episode from the first season. Because her butt is looking very BBL right now. And I don't remember her. She was always like the thick girl, but like her butt was never that. So I was like, girl, did you go get a BBL and we didn't realize it?
Maybe. Look, let's see. While Courtney's skiing, me and Ronnie going to be right off to the side with our hot cocoa, nice and cozy.
Because you know, right behind is going to be at that lounge with the hot cocoa. With a
right, exactly. She going to be... and then be like, I ain't gonna go up on that hill. We'll just go.
I'm not to throw my big ass down no mountain of ice and snow. Are you crazy?
Now I would go tubing. I'm down to go tubing where I can lay down and be in the tube. I'll do that, but I ain't doing no skiing.
I haven't tubed since I was like 14, so yeah.
Oh, I took the kids last year, so. All right, so on the ski trip, though, basically it was pretty much Whitney telling the girls how she's still upset with Heather because Heather pushed her out of the house last week. But I will say, this episode, honestly... Oh, yeah. Do you want to say something about that scene? Because I'm about to go to one of my favorite scenes. So what do you think about the ski trip? Go ahead.
Not the ski trip, the pushing her out of the house-ness.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there is too much, and maybe it's because Potomac is doing this as well right now, this exaggerated version of physical aggression I do not like. So, like, Heather was like, girl, I'm done. I'm not doing this no more. Here's the door. She didn't push you out of the house. She literally tapped the back of you and said, I'm going here. Good night. And walked into her bedroom and closed the door. You were still standing in place. So there was not like a physical attack on you to shove you out of the house. And I don't like that going on because it's the same thing that's happening on Potomac, and it bothers me. Because there is a difference between being like, I'm making it clear I'm done. I would like you to leave my house. I'm going to go over here. She literally went into another room and closed the door in her own house while you're still in her house. She did not force you and throw you out physically. And I feel like Whitney is trying to make it seem like, oh my God, Heather went nuts and she like threw me on my ass out of the house. That's not what happened.
Well, right now Whitney's in her victim mode, so maybe that's where that's coming from. What I did love, and I mean, shout out for them to doing this scene. Shout out to whoever produced this scene. But Seth confronting John.
You loved it?
I loved it. I loved it because we've, throughout the years, I mean, and also another housewife thing with Joe and Melissa on this anti-Teresa hate train on podcast, at his comedy show. It's like,
I don't want to do that. It's uncomfortable because that's legit family and it's very uncomfortable.
And my thing is all these years you've been like, she's crazy, she's the crazy one. So just let it be that. But now that you're doing this, you look like you're equal. Like it's equal now. It's like, have you snapped? Do you want to be? Is this a fame thing at this point? Like, I don't know. I'm not here for it. But so the Seth and John thing, I thought it was hilarious, mostly because we're so used to seeing husbands on this show. And, you know, they're usually like super bro about stuff, or they'll be like really aggressive. And I just felt like this was the most, they are so normal and they had no idea how to deal with this. And like, they literally said on camera, they're like, I mean, I really don't even, like, bro, yeah, this is really hard right now. Like, it was just, I think I loved it because I miss those authentic moments on these types of shows. And I felt like that was so authentic. I thought it was cool that they did it. And we're open to showcasing that. And they basically said the same thing that all the husbands do. It's like, our wives are crazy. So, you know. But shout out to John for saying, like, I mean, Seth was coming at me. He was like, well, look, let's not act like Meredith is Miss Innocent over here.
Yes. But also they didn't quite verbally resolve anything. They just kind of were like, yeah, that sucked. Oh, yeah, she said that too. That sucked. Okay. Should we go inside? It's cold. And I was just like, oh, so that's the resolution? That wasn't an actual, like...
Well, because the thing is, there can't be a resolution, Courtney.
I know, I agree. But, like, also it was like, that still wasn't a resolution. But okay.
No, it was just awkwardly uncomfortable, and I feel like they're used to that because their wives make them feel that way back at home. Ronnie says Joe and Melissa are greater than uninteresting table flipper. First of all, uninteresting table flipper has carried the show on the table.
There's reason there's still a show. even though I have not been Team Teresa at all,
Ever.
He was primarily the problem. But without her, I feel like they need each other.
1,000,000%.
So, and I don't like to see them in a very bad place, like especially now after everything that's happened.
It's just like too much. It's like you guys have been in this for too long. The fact that you haven't been able to clean this up and like just like been like, let's make money together.
Yes, both the parents are dead. Joe Giudice is in Italy. Like, you can't reconcile and figure out your shit. Like, and just have I would like to see Teresa and Melissa be actual friends and like be fun girls like Nene and Kim used to be.
All right, then we get this car scene with Angie K. And I know Courtney is not a fan of Angie K. Or these new girls.
Like, who is she? Why? Why is she here? Why?
I think it's just to carry this one little story part out, honestly, with the Dana girl, which, again, not that interesting.
Why? The whole Dana and Meredith scene, why?
So basically, Angie tells Jen how Meredith invited her to the spin class, and Dana basically said, you know, I feel like Jen was like bullying and like no one stands up to her, and Jen does not like to hear stuff like that. And I don't think it's about Jen being a bully, and I don't think it's about standing up to Jen. I think it's about Jen needing friends who understand who their friend is and understands how to control your friend. If you're going to continue to call this person a friend, and I only say that because there have been several situations where me and Courtney have, I could say a couple mutual friends where we know who those people are, and we know that when drinking's involved or when something is, we know how to handle that.
We do, but they're not like psychotic, disrespectful.
I mean, they've had moments.
Well, but I feel like Jen doesn't have moments.
No, Jen is just always the moment.
And I'm like, maybe that's just Jen because we're seeing what's cut for television. So I will give her some grace in that regard, that maybe they're only selecting those moments because it's TV and it's amplified. But then to see that video of her screaming on the streets at that other person, it's like, well, this is just you built that life, girl. Because also it looked like they were like much younger than her. No, it did, and I couldn't understand what they were saying.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
I don't know what the fight was about. But again, you are a 50-year-old woman screaming in the streets of Utah when you're behind is probably about to go to jail in 2 months. Like, why would that ever happen? Like, what could be the catalyst for any of that behavior? So I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know, Jen girl, because we ain't got to the end of the episode yet, but you doing too much on a regular basis, and I'm tired.
Well, all right. So my ultimate favorite scene here.
Wait, hold up. Go.
My favorite scene, you guys. I'm gonna put us next to each other because, oh my god.
I can't wait. Because mine is.
You guys. So it was the scene choir practice, and I mean, when I tell you I probably rewatch this, I watch this first thing in the morning. Every morning I wake up, I go downstairs, I have my coffee, usually watch Judge Judy, but on Housewives, the day after Housewives, I always watch Housewives. I wasn't ready for this. When I tell you I could probably make myself cry right now laughing because it was so, the producers, like, I want to know, were they actually that close to the choir? Was the audio really affecting the mics? Heather, I just really feel, I understand your dad's dead. But I just need you to understand how I feel. I just need you to feel how I feel. Lisa, I get how you feel. Look, we're at choir practice. I get it. But my thing is, I kind of believe Whitney. I kind of believe what Whitney's saying, and I feel like you know what, Whitney, come here. I never denounced that. I don't know why, Heather, you would think that I denounced that. Me and Lisa are best friends, and I would never denounce something like that. I'm just trying to let you guys know my choir practice is here. You guys, I'm just trying to protect my character. I'm just saying I wouldn't lie about that, and Heather, you clearly forget about things. I didn't forget anything. You guys are forgetting that we're at choir practice right now, and I'm freaking out. You guys, what about my feelings? What about my feelings? I posted your private text about your dead dad because my image was on the line.
The whole choir. That was so stupid.
I mean, it was amazing television.
Was that real life? Like, that could not have been real life. Like, were they really just in that room, that small room, that tight, doing vocal warm-ups while they're literally screaming at it?
But I always love on these shows how it starts off like, hey, like this was Heather. Hey, Lisa, I know, like, we have stuff we have to talk about, but, like, I don't think this is the right set. I know you don't think it's the right setting. I get that. But, like, my name is on the line. Like, once that happened and the humming, so what you're going to do is you're going to put your lips together and keep your teeth open.
It was too much. Okay. But, like, in real life, conversation about the fight. So, I'm sorry, Lisa Barlow. And I know y'all were coming for Heather last week, and I was the only person kind of defending Heather last week, but I'm going to defend Heather again. And this is why. I know that Heather is living in the, I forgot, I don't remember, and people are getting mad and like, how could you not remember? How could you this? I think that's all bullshit. I think that Heather doesn't want to deal with this stupid catty nonsense. And so her default is, what are you talking about? I don't know. And that's why when she calls them, she's like, I just want my choir. Girl, you gonna come to the choir? I don't remember how we ended last time, but I just want you to come to choir. Because she doesn't want to do it anymore.
Okay, but wait.
She's like,
but that is kind of weird, though. Like, so do you think she genuinely... Okay, with the Lisa thing, no. But with Whitney, I do think it's a little strange. Because with Lisa, I think with Whitney, Whitney's had...
fucking nuts.
No,
okay?
Girl, Whitney, hello. I've ripped Whitney to shred every episode. I agree with that. But at the same time, I feel like Heather proclaims to be this person, I give. And so I think right now, with Lisa, it makes sense. With Whitney, it's like, if you heard it, and now you're just running around because you don't want to deal with the drama talking about, I didn't hear it.
Well, okay, let me correct.
On a friend,
I don't think that portion. I think she honestly don't really remember what the fuck they were talking. They were at a game. They were drunk. I don't think she actually recollects specifically us saying Lisa Barlow sucked dick for tickets. Like, whatever the rumor was. I'm speaking to how they were coming for her about,
which I believe is 1,000,000% false. I do not believe that Lisa did that in any way, shape, or form.
I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't guess, but I don't know Lisa, so maybe she did. People do crazier things for less.
Yeah.
So if she did or didn't, I don't think it's relevant. But in the end, I think that they were probably drunk talking shit about Lisa. And Heather is like, well, we talk shit about Lisa all the time. Did we say that? I don't remember saying that specifically. I don't remember us talking about that, but okay. Like, maybe. No? That makes no sense. That's not something we've ever said about her before.
Okay, so but doesn't it... Agree. Wow. Here's what I will agree. What I do think, though, why I'm low-key leaning more towards Heather, I don't like the Whitney and Lisa friendship. I think it's weird. I think it's, like, very inauthentic. I am actually confused by it because Whitney is the one riding the horse, riding the Angie horse, and showed up with Angie in matching outfits to choir practice. So, like, why are you, Whitney's really, changing, and she's, like, really been a friend for me. Really? Has she? Because she's out here talking to Angie about how you suck dick for tickets. Where Heather's saying, I don't remember hearing that. That's fucking crazy.
But also it's crazy. And also I don't believe it. So I wouldn't perpetuate a rumor that even if that was something that we were talking shit about or laughing about, because like maybe Angie said it and we like laugh like, oh snap, she's sucking dick for tickets to the Utah Jazz.
Now here's the thing where here's what I'm saying. I could see someone jokingly be like, oh girl, yeah girl. Oh, she probably sucked dick for ticket. Like making a joke like that to where like Heather wouldn't hear that and think like, well, that was not a real conversation, girl. Like she was joking. And Whitney's like, well, I do remember you saying like, no girl, bye. All right. Last scene we got was Jen calling Meredith to invite her to San Diego. And she was pissed that she was with Dana.
Okay, first of all, this is why Dana don't need to be on the show. Dana, whatever your name is. She talks so slow. I was like, why are we here? We already have Meredith, who is like enunciating like everything very specifically and so excited that she now has time, that she's released all of her toxic friends to make friends and new relationships with people she finds kind.
When I'm not in the bathtub stroking my husband.
Dick. But it's like, bitch, Meredith already talks slow as fuck. I don't need Dana, her homie, to be talking slow as fuck too to like do a whole thing. But Jen, why does she nut up on her on the phone like that? That fast. Like, bitch, all you said was, I want to go to Miami. Come with us. And then she's like, hey, girl, look at Dana. And she's like, fuck you, bitch. I got a problem with you. And she's like, I don't like how you talk to people, Jen. And she, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. And throwing the phone and running out of the pool. Like, girl.
And that's my thing. Like, if this.
You go to jail. Bitch, you are literally about to go to jail. And this is how you freak out about minor stuff?
Oh, and that's my thing, though. It's like, if this is why I just think, honestly, she probably can get out of a lot of these prison years because just claim crazy. Just claim crazy. Because I genuinely think she's crazy. You know, this girl said that you were a bully, so you're going to get on the phone and nut up like that?
And show her to be correct, because you're being a psychopath.
Ronnie said Meredith and her sister were actually having an interesting scene to me. I don't know why, but I'm interested. What was the scene? I don't remember.
It was the scene where they were talking about, so her sister's son was the one that had mental health issues last year that she talked about at the reunion. And I guess he is now succeeding in whatever program he's in. And because he like, at some point he drank bleach and was like trying to end it all. But he's now like in a program and he seems to be doing better. And the sister is like, yes. And he wants to help other people. So he's actually expressing to his therapist now that, you know, he has feelings and when he has triggers and stuff like that. So he's in a much better spot than he was last year. So God bless him. I think her sister's name was Maya or something. But yes, it was interesting, but also, I don't know, something feels very contrived about it to me. Not necessarily that the son is like hasn't gone through stuff, but I don't know. Meredith just feels uncomfortable on camera still to me, and I don't really get it. So between her and her sister, it was weird, but I'm glad to hear that they like because they had a bunch of problems apparently when the dad died, and it seems like they have reconnected and are in a good spot and are working through all of their shit. So I always appreciate that. I know sister relationships are hard. I've got two. But that being said, I also enjoyed Jen making the comment before she lost her mind and jumped out of the pool and ran in the house. She said how she wants to go to San Diego because she wants a trip that's like fun where they just get cute and don't talk about traumas or work through their traumas. And she's like, I just want surface. I was like, I totally understand that.
Yeah, but they all say this and it never is surface.
Well, I mean, but their trips, but specifically them, they have always gone on like healing retreat type trips. Like, let's go into the wilderness of the desert and burn our sorrows type trips. So I got what she was saying and I appreciate it. But it's obviously not going to be the case because we got the previews.
No, I feel like, yeah, we're about to get like, remember New York, that Hampton, was it the Hampton trip? The Hampton, where is it? Monster Island, Scary Island. Remember that?
Oh yeah. When Kelly Ben Simone lost her mind.
I feel like we get in that.
Back to New York, apparently.
So we'll see. All right, Real Housewives of Potomac. We start out with Ashley and versus Candace. Oh, go ahead.
You're not even going to comment on the Salt Lake previews?
Look, not really, because they did obviously we're at I'm assuming they're mid-season now, because they said coming up. We're gonna get the fights. It's gonna be fights. It's gonna be arguments. I don't know. I felt like the scene. I don't.
What happened to Heather's eye, Jesse? That's all we care about.
No, I see. Here's why I don't want to even talk about it, because honestly, I really feel like whoever was on the other door just bumped her, and it was something I don't.
She just ran into the wall. Nobody punched her in the eye.
No. Exactly, and that's why I don't want to talk about it, so let's just carry on.
Okay, we'll skip that. Moving on.
Over on the east side in Potomac, we got back to our burn session where Ashley and Candace were still going at it, and
we're screaming. Yeah.
Candace came out to say, now look, this is the thing with Candace, though. I'm still on Candace's side, but in all of this, because I do not believe Chris had any intentions of anything that these women are saying. But don't get mad at Ashley when Ashley says, oh, you don't like it when it's on the other foot. And you're like, oh, bitch, you've been waiting to say that. Don't say that when you've been holding on to the gem about your gay escort friend sleeping with Michael Darby. You've been holding on to that. Not here for that, Candace. Not here for that. That should have been released information to Ashley when y'all was sitting at the table and she brought it up the first time.
But you're both frenemies, so stop fronting.
Right.
You want to shade her as much as she wants to shade you.
So everyone got up at the Michael Darby sucks dick comment, and Ashley tells Wendy that she just wants Candace to see, that maybe right now your man is being a little too friendly with everyone. And I just think that there's something here that this all seems plotted. It really seems contrived, and it really feels like the girls don't want certain attention. And maybe it's because, Monique lit the shit up like Angela Bassett. Like, maybe that's why. I don't know. But and they're just like, Candace is an easy target. I think the conversation about colorism on the show is around the show in the Twitter world is interesting. The more I am watching this, and questioning why this is happening to Candace and Chris, I don't know.
It's true, because actually, I think when we first talked about it, I personally didn't feel the colorism energy that everybody was saying. But I think for me, I was framing it from a producer's perspective, in terms of, because I felt like people were saying the producers are shaping it so that the lighter skinned girls don't get the same, negative energy that the dark skinned girls get. And I don't receive that. I felt like they were all ugly and looking terrible and misbehaving and tragic. But I had a rethink moment about it from the perspective of the actual castmates and them feeling colorism from each other and enacting their energies of colorism on each other. And the way that, Ashley describes Candace versus the way she will describe Robin. And there are definitely moments where I can see that possibly being the case. Mm-hmm. But in the end, again, I still revert back to, as a show as a whole, I feel like they're all shown to be ugly people right now and not the greatest of people. Nobody on Potomac, I think, is seeming like a super redeemable person that I'm rooting for as a character or as a person.
I mean, personally, the only one would be, I feel like the only one that's trying to keep some sort of head on her shoulders, and she just can't because Charisse is just Charisse's presence is unraveling her, is Karen. I feel like Karen is trying to be that, but it feels staged.
But I feel like Karen has shown herself to not be that many a times in the past. So I feel like they all have ugly energy. I don't know.
PM616 says, I definitely see it as colorism. The way the darker skinned women are treated by lighter skin cast is apparent. You know, what's interesting about this too is, look, Wendy to me, low-key insufferable. Like, I think she digs her own grays, but Candace...
I will say, you're talking about Wendy. Wendy did an interview on what's his face's podcast, Carlos's podcast, King. And I feel the same way. Like what you just said, I totally felt the same way about Wendy. I have a little more grace from her after hearing her on Carlos's podcast.
What was her overall take?
I mean, the overall take was because she didn't do this because Funky Dineva also, no, that was somebody else. Sorry. She took responsibility and ownership of the fact that she's been multiple people over the course of her 3 seasons. And it's not strange that people are like confused about like, well, who are you, Wendy? Like, are you the, like, I'm the professor, I'm the this, am I like a candle maker? Are you just doing this for attention? Like, what are you doing? And she kind of went into like how literally when we met her, she had just given birth to her last child. Everything she had done in her adult life up until that point, other than choosing her own husband, was not a choice she made on her own. Mm-hmm. It was all a choice she made with her mother and her sister as a child of an immigrant who decided to do whatever. And then the choice to be on Housewives was like her own choice. And like trying to explore, she felt like she's like, I feel like I'm a rebellious teenager, finally in a spot where I can like try other things that I had not thought about. And like, I wanted to feel good about myself and I wanted boobs. So I went and got them. And like, you guys were seeing me in real time as a 35-plus-year-old woman figuring out my adultness as an individual, not as my mother's child. Okay. So I feel like, okay, that makes sense, because literally she didn't try to shy away and be like, no, I am all of this and I am all that. She's like, no, I'm actually like figuring out, like, I was that because that's what I was trained to do, but like I had feelings to do other things and be other ways and whatever, and I just never explored those, and you guys are actually watching me explore those at the same time. So it's like, okay, girl, maybe.
I can give it that. I mean, first of all, Ronnie, no, I did not say Karen was authentic. I said I feel like how she's coming across is actually inauthentic. But
oh wow.
But what I said was, I think out of all the girls, Karen is trying to keep, like, all the girls are being nasty, like really nasty, and I feel like Karen is trying to keep a presence, like how Wendy does. I believe Robin, like PM616 says, the vitriol that Robin has towards Wendy is crazy to me. I believe here's my theory. I think Robin's thing with Wendy is an internal thing. I don't know if it is skin related, but what I would more so say, it's family related. I think she looks at someone like Wendy who has a husband, kids, she has a supportive husband who she can go do all these different things, and Robin is like sweating, coming out of Big Lots, like trying to get the park together for everyone to come because it's her trip day, it's her time to host something, so Robin's just like, where's Juan? And Juan's dealing with this whole lawsuit, and she's going to a divorce attorney about a prenup and all this stuff. So I think, and again, I do know certain girls, and that isn't to say Wendy's bad or anything like that. What it is that I think that Wendy came from a bubble. Like Courtney just said, her mom, her sister. And some people can get jealous of stuff like that. Like when you come from family, it's like, it's so funny. I always would have this one thing. It was like, I remember this one person was talking about, oh, your mom gave you money for something. This is years ago, right? And she was like, he was like, your mom gave you money. And I was like, you have a sugar daddy. But he was mad at me that my own family helped me out with the situation, but you going out getting sugar daddies. And he just had this hatred. It was because he didn't come from a family and he didn't have a good situation with his mother. And so I could see that being the issue. Maybe color comes into it as well, but I more so think that's Robin's issue with Wendy specifically. Because when you think of all the other girls, like Candace has an issue. Candace has a man, but she can't have a baby. Ashley is dating. Is he gay? Is he straight? Who knows what he's doing? You know, Giselle don't got a man. Karen, it's like, that's Karen. So really, Wendy is the only one who kind of has that package, right? So I question if that's what Robin's thing is. I would be interested to see what you guys think of that. PM said, I can definitely see that. Jesse, Robin's issue with Wendy seems misdirected. Ronnie said, what are your thoughts on Wendy's appearance on Watch What Happens Live? I did not see that.
I don't think I caught her on Watch What Happens either.
Did she say anything that, important? Dustin said, I think Robin's very loyal and doesn't like that Wendy turned on her because of her support of Giselle. PM16 said, same with Giselle. She's always attacking people's marriages because she doesn't have / keep a man. 1,000,000%. Again, I think in real life, I've met Giselle and she's really cool. I think I would be friends out of all the girls. I think I would be friends with Giselle personally.
Me too.
But
I think it's just for show.
1,000,000%. But also, I think if Giselle had a man, I think when Giselle has a man, she's a different Giselle. I don't think she's, she probably likes the tea and all that kind of stuff. But like to actually be infiltrating in people's lives like this, no. I think if she had a man on the show, it wouldn't be like that.
See, I don't know. I think it still would be because I think that Giselle, even though like they don't like to be like, oh, she's, one of the producers of the show, I think she knows and has figured out what makes the show tick. And she's willing to, again, like I said before, in normal life, she would never maybe vocalize the things that she's vocalizing. But I do think she's a very direct, honest person. So she just overdoes it and doesn't filter herself because it keeps the show wheels turning.
I have to have an honest moment. She's a producer on the show?
No, what I'm saying is like they don't like to call like certain cast members the
okay. She's like the Kyle of Beverly Hills.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Okay.
She's one of the people that understands what makes the show
and
continue.
I think what she understood this season was, y'all, let's get Candace and let's not even give Candace a real reason because that's what's really going to kill Candace. Because when Candace went out to talk to Giselle, this conversation, and again, I'm just looking at Giselle like, girl, why would you even go out there to have that conversation if that's how you're going to end it? Because now the story keeps becoming more like, girl, it wasn't even that big a deal. He just did it. Girl, it wasn't even that big a deal.
That's why I don't think it was actually a like, girls, let's get Candace. She won't even be ready for it. I feel like this shit was weird to me. And normally I wouldn't say shit, but we on a show, so I'm going to say shit. And I know it's going to turn up because Candace turns up because that's how she is. But we on a show. I'm going to say it. Girl, guess what? Your man kind of weird and doing some weird shit. And then letting it all pile on. Because I feel like they maybe even talked like, oh yeah, by the way, he did kind of look at me a little strange for such and such. And Giselle is just like, well, I'll down the cross because we need a show. Girl, I really did feel this. And it was a little weird to me. And I probably shouldn't bring it up like in normal life, but we on TV, so I'm bringing it up. Like, I don't feel like it was like, let's get Candace. We don't like her. Let's make it hard for... I don't think it's like that at all. I feel like she has honest moments that are fucking... Like, we all have honest shit that's weird that we were like, I might not say nothing about that, or I'm not going to tell someone. So, like, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I felt so crazy that the Uber driver did da-da-da-da, but I'm on a TV show. It makes sense for me to say it because that's going to push story.
Ronnie says, unfortunately, I feel like Candace is giving it more light than necessary.
100%.
I mean, but is she? Because Ashley keeps bringing it up.
No. Candace freaking out about it is what makes it an issue. Because like they were saying, how Candace is like taking it home to her man and dramatizing it even further. and making, because even when she's talking to Giselle and she's like,
yeah, but you guys, come on, you don't know what you would be like on national television if you know how, we all know how production works. I'm sorry, we know how production works. I think that was such an authentic, I really did love the first scene when Giselle said that and Candace's reaction, because I think I don't want to say the first time, but I think in a very long time, it was a moment where we saw someone break that wall, and it was like, what's happening here? Like, is this a part of the story? Like, are y'all really trying to make this a thing? Are you trying to make this a storyline? Like, we're sitting down, we're having like a moment where you can like come and confess this to me. Like, that would piss me off too. If my husband has, who knows what he's done for them and cooked for them or done events for them, whatever the case is, or whatever, that would frustrate me. And I mean, all these girls have turned up before, so like Robin turned up on Wendy and ran out, so what's the difference?
It's not about, let's all be real. Like we've said multiple times, like this is the first season that everybody's kind of like next level empathizing with Candace in a way we haven't before, right? Because Candace's turn-ups in the past have been seemingly immature, bratty, overly extra, like, and unnecessary. And I think that they know that that's how she is, period. So if they bring anything up, regardless of how big or small it is, she's going to do that because she's not emotionally mature in that way. And I think she's taking the information back to her husband, turning it up. He's on Twitter doing even more to make it even go further. They probably expected that would be the case because they know Candace better than we know her. But if Candace had given them dust about it, it would have died.
Right.
But she's not going to give them dust because that's not her personality.
Ronnie says there's a rumor that he isn't exactly monogamous, and maybe, just maybe, she's trying to take all attention off Chris just in case. I don't think she's doing that. I think that rumor is a rumor, but I think if it was really true, I mean, we know how this show works. I would assume by now we would see text messages. The girl would have came out, whoever would have came out with a video. I just feel like that would have been exposed and happened. And again, I really don't see that for him. I don't know him to know that, but I don't get that personally.
I don't get it either.
And maybe, again, who knows, but
people be doing stuff to surprise us all the time. And, you know, you get a little smoke from being on TV. You think you're invincible sometimes, especially men. Men do dumb shit, y'all. Sorry, no offense. Love y'all, Ronnie, PM. I don't know if PM is a man or, I don't know, Dustin, all y'all. I love y'all as men, but men do dumb shit, especially straight men, and think they're going to get away with it or don't even think one way or the other. So if he is doing something wild, I wouldn't be shocked. But he doesn't give me that. He seems like he really loves his wife.
And my thing is, and I do wish Candace could come with, see, this is like, I would love to see Phaedra being put in this position because she would just ka-ching, 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 everybody. Like, for Giselle to sit across from, you said what?
No, I'm just saying, like, if Candace had been like, because Candace asked, like, so instead of Candace being like, because she went after Giselle, like, you are inferring that there's malintent. You could have shut it down literally by saying, oh my gosh, I am so sorry you felt that way, but I am certain that my husband never had any malintent towards you. He loves you like a sister, but I will talk to him, and I hope that will never happen again. It would have been squashed in that moment, period.
That, or throw a little shade back and say, you know what, girl, I'm so sorry. I don't want you to ever feel like that, especially coming from my man. Can I ask what made you feel so comfortable saying yes to him and going to your room and not just saying, hey, could we go over here and sit down? Like, I don't feel comfortable going with a married man, versus you walking to the room and then having that conversation then?
But then you even said we shouldn't be in here, and he walked out. He was like, you're right, open the door. So how did that not shift the energy? Regardless, there's a million iterations of what Candace could have said to squash this flame. Right. She chose to ignite it.
Heat, and that's what they...
Igniting, what do you call that stuff?
The kerosene?
The stuff you squirt on the flame.
Ashley, then we find out who the girl is that is rumored that he flirted with, and her name is Deborah. which I hate that name. No offense to anyone named Deborah, but so we'll see what goes on with that. We see Ashley at the divorce attorney.
That's my mom's name.
Okay, but like it gives me mom. Like I just feel like there's certain like years like we just have to stop calling certain people things. Like I just don't see in like the year 3025 like Deborahs. Like, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like we're gonna like I don't know. Ashley and this divorce attorney, she basically said she doesn't want to sleep with anyone else. She explained why they're breaking up. And she brought up basically how Michael does not want to bring attorneys into this. And her attorney was like, he makes all the money? Yeah, absolutely not. You want to bring an attorney in on this. But Ashley then walked out and was like, yeah, no, I trust him, hopefully, and we'll see what happens. So we'll see what happens with Mr. Darby. I mean, I just feel like she's got something on him, or I don't know. Their situation is so interesting to me. And
I mean, it seems like
I feel like it was like a sugar daddy. Honestly, like I feel like it was like a set up situation.
Yeah.
Like not a sugar daddy, but because they were on TV, they played a role. They did it. Followed it through. I mean, we see it on 90 Day Fiance all the time, and she got what she really wanted out of the situation, and show's over.
She married him, stayed married for the 8 years so that the prenup expired or whatever, so that she would get whatever was mutual property in the last 8 years. And I don't know. I don't understand why Michael would do it, because it didn't do anything but make him look bad.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, maybe just not knowing what was going to happen. I don't know. Being on a show, maybe he never watched Housewives, because he don't seem like someone who would sit and watch an episode. All right, we got a scene of Wendy journaling. She's thankful for her mom out the hospital. Moving on. We get Mia and Charisse. They're talking about Miami and how Mia got a 6-bedroom house, and it's for 9 girls. And she said, I think, Charisse, I'm gonna let you pick your own room. Charisse was super excited about it. Then we got a clip of Giselle, Ashley, and Robin shopping for Miami, and Robin confirms that she did hear Candace, that Candace did tell her about that escort rumor a while ago, which also interesting. Robin, you kept that quiet, but and the fact you kept that quiet from Giselle, or Giselle knew it and was like, not my tea to spill. Then we get to the airport, and we get these SUVs, and I thought the way these SUVs were split was very interesting, but it just goes to show who Mia wants to be connected to. She wants to be connected to the Grand Dame, and she wants to be connected to Giselle. Giselle says that she wants, and we get this new girl, Jackie. Giselle wants a young guy on her roster. Apparently she has 3 guys that she's weaving in and out of, and she wants to add a young guy to that roster. And go ahead, girl. I know your kids are going to roast you after this episode, but
do you, boo? Do you?
Not even mad. To the outskirts of Miami. This Airbnb had a beautiful view of Miami Beach from across the way. I went there. I know that area.
That was cool. It's great. Love Miami. It's beautiful.
Yeah, not that part. So she says there's no more GVO, which was the last trip, which was good vibes only. It's going to be MIA, missing. Don't go missing in action. So the bedrooms were all named after stripper movies.
It was fun.
And shows. That was fun. Very in theme. But, girl, don't be sitting up here shading everybody's event, and then you got this house. Because, first of all, not you put Karen in, like, the maid closet. Like, what are these rooms? Like, then you give Charisse a room with no bathroom?
Because there was only, 3 bathrooms in the whole house? Like, look, it's not a bad house, but it is a producer house. They know there's going to be issues because there aren't enough bedrooms and there aren't enough bathrooms. So they want conflict. It's fine. But it was a nice house.
It was cute for like 4 people.
I would stay there.
Yeah, we would stay there, just you and me. And that.
But I think it's cute for 6 people, like, that are willing to share a bathroom. Like,
yeah, 1,000,000%. But like older women, I'm sorry. Like, it's also a respect thing. Because, like, we interviewed Charisse. She's older. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a respect thing. And not that Mia has that, but...
But also, there aren't a lot of rental houses, like, don't necessarily have ensuite bathrooms in every bedroom. That is, like, not a regular thing.
Ronnie says, as much as I love Giselle, I don't think she has a roster.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I mean, I think she might.
Is that like cool points to say you have a roster?
I mean, you don't want to be the I ain't got nobody on the roster.
But do you want to be like the mom with 3 kids that's getting like smashed by 3 guys, and then you want to add a 4th?
Well, see, that's the thing. But when men say roster and when women say roster, that's 2 different things. Just because she has a roster doesn't mean she's fucking all of them.
Doesn't mean she isn't.
Doesn't mean she's not. She could be, but like, it is very plausible to have a roster of men that you're maybe only sleeping with one of them, if at all.
Ooh.
Because
maybe she's choosing which one she'll sleep with. But when she says she wants to add a young guy, to me, that's what made it a sexual thing. Because usually,
she wants to add a young guy so she can have some sex.
Well, hopefully he ain't out here shoving needles in his dick. I'm just kidding. Ronnie says Mia is somewhat funny this season. I don't know if it's because the bar was low or if she's more fun this season. I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's like, well, we're stuck with her, so let's squeeze what we can get out.
Because she kind of looks like a Muppet and does weird stuff. Throws salad at people.
Did I pull? Like, did we do this last season?
No.
Wait. You know what Muppet she looks like?
I mean, I have what I have in my head of which Muppet she looks like. Are you about to put a Muppet picture up on the screen?
Wait, because I told you last week that Madonna looks like Cynthia from Rugrats.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had that conversation.
Y'all. Okay, now just imagine this with black hair, though.
I mean, I can't see it, so...
No, I know, I haven't... Because what is her name?
I don't know any of the Muppets' names, except Kermie and...
No, Janice.
Piggy.
Janice. So, I'm going to... No, don't look it up. I'm pulling it up right now. You can't tell me...
We were clearly on the same page.
That is not.
I never knew that Muppet's name was Janice. So
I just found that out too. I remember she was in the band with Animal, but whatever.
I know she was in the band, yeah.
She was in the band. All right, but yes, I think that is why. So, all right, Charisse is going to get a hotel room. Robin and Giselle had a cute little situation. Mia's room was cute. Mia calls Peter and wants to bring the girls to his club, and this is what's going to spark the season off. As we see next week, this week, Peter basically says, like, I don't fuck with Wendy, and then next week they go to the same bar club that he owns, and she's over talking to him.
Bar 1, honey.
Bar 1, she's over there talking to him. Wendy's looking like... Ooh, I don't want to have to say hi to him. And again, first of all, Mia, like, stay out of people's business, which obviously that's the show. But like Wendy too, you always talking about I dotted my I's, crossed my T's, did my Q's, and then you leaving knowing there's no way that. Well, I could actually see Mia not telling them that they're going to bar one. I could actually see that happening, 1,000,000% actually, because just why would you not say, hey, my husband's not really 100% in on this? Like, could we just pause on the contract, or what? Ronnie says, here's my thought. Giselle has thick skin, but I think Karen's comments last season and being the blank of Hampton University hurt her feelings, so she's acting cavalier sexually just to save face. Oh. I don't think that bothered her enough.
I
but
think
maybe.
she does have thick skin, but I don't think she cares. I think Giselle Giselle was an old church lady, had a whole preacher husband in the black church that was sleeping around with the whole congregation. That hurt, I'm sure. But like all this other little petty stuff, at this point, she just trying to get her money and live her life. I feel like Giselle don't care about none of these people.
Yeah.
Or what they say about it.
I agree. So what are you excited to see from next week?
I mean, look, I, of course, don't support violence, especially when it's the black women and, violenting against each other. But I will say that the way that Mia tossed the drink at Wendy was just so damn smooth and cavalier. And it was so like, I feel like I'm watching Dynasty. Like I feel like Diane Carroll is telling what's her face, fuck off bitch, and just toss the glass. Like, cause it didn't seem like, I guess the glass broke, I don't know, but it just like splashed her in the face like so elegantly. And she was just still sitting there just like not giving a fuck at all. And it's soap opera, like I said that before, like our reality shows have become our soap operas because most of the soap operas are gone and very few of them, General Hospital's still on and I think one other one, but like nobody's really watching soap operas like they used to. And I was an avid soap opera fan. So I feel like that's why this works in my brain. The problem is that this is quote unquote real life.
Right.
So it looks really whack. But I literally put it in a soap opera category. And the way she tossed that shit at that girl face, I was just like, wow, I love it. I don't know what they're fighting about. I don't know why they're fighting. I cannot imagine that it's even remotely that important. But that was fascinatingly lovely. I don't know. Like, if I was directing a scene, the way that Mia was able to just like topple that glass, like she's done that shit before.
Well, she did last year.
Times.
She did it with lettuce.
Well, but she like, that's lettuce. That's different. A whole glass in your hand and you're able to do a splash in a bitch face, but like barely move the rest of your body. Like all of you is just over here focused, like fuck her. And it was well done. Well done.
Fair enough.
But trash.
Yeah.
But trash.
But we love that. That's why we're here at 11 o'clock at night or midnight. Oh my God, you guys, it's midnight where I'm at and it's freezing cold. All right, well, that's it. Shout out to y'all watching. Shout out to y'all in the comments. Appreciate. Love you guys. The amount of viewers we had, and I need some more likes. Thank you. Make sure you guys hit us up across the platform at Next Mood Swing. Courtney, where can everyone follow you?
I'm all over social media at Stewart Starlet.
Boom. Again, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment. What was your favorite part? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about next week? And hit me up at DJ Jesse J. Until next week, same time, same place. Peace.